Hello guys, my name is Oaf, and today we're doing one thing and one thing only. If I had infinite money and I had the goal of making a gym, what gym would I make? Obviously, I don't have infinite money. That's why you're here. Give me views, give me money, and let's move on to the presentation. Obviously, we have a cutthroat presentation to show you all the best machines that you would need in a perfect gym. First things first, biceps, obviously the most important. First of all, we're gonna have the bicep machine. And holy smack, if I had to buy something, I'd buy this for biceps. It puts your biceps in like a special position where they just get destroyed. So when you're fucking sitting like this, it just lines up to the position so correct that you cannot get it wrong. So usually people would do this like on a bench, right? Doing this. But if you get this machine, it would destroy your biceps. So I would definitely get that. Then obviously dumbbell rack. You cannot go wrong with dumbbells. You got a lot of fucking weight. You can do standing. You can do hammer curls. Sit down, do curls. You cannot go wrong with this. You got dumbbells. You're gonna destroy biceps. So we have that. And thirdly, lastly, a short bar rack. So I could have gone for the barbells, but I'd rather have the short ones because I feel like those are better. And obviously no one is strong enough that they could just lift the short bars easily. If you use a short bar and you go slow up and slow down, you can destroy your biceps like very well. With the Z bars as well, you get the position correct. You cannot go wrong with these three things. Dumbbells, obviously, universal as fuck. Short bars, great. Bicep machine, great for absolutely abolishing your biceps. Then we move on to triceps. Triceps is kind of tricky because I would say you honestly need two movements. So you need one movement going down like this and one movement going down up like this, so overhead. So that's obviously why I would have firstly dips, which is kind of like this movement. So it's more of a going down movement, dips. I don't know why, but I've like started absolutely loving dips. I think if you start getting into dips, more like calisthenics side, you can get good at them like very, very fast. Like a month ago, I couldn't do dips, and now I'm doing dips like very, very easily. So if you try to do dips, you can get good at them very, very fast. And obviously dips also good for the shoulders and chest, but I would mostly concentrate on the triceps. Oh yeah, and here's the dips. Then we have short bar. This is mostly for skull crushers. So obviously you sit down on a bench and you do this. That's mostly the overhead movement part. And I think that should pretty much destroy your triceps good enough to the point where you don't really need anything else. But obviously, we throw in, for safety, we throw in the dumbbells. So what can you do? You can do one arm overhead presses. You can do two arm overhead presses. You can obviously do tricep kickbacks, but I would have to think that you're weird if you do them. And lastly, we have cable extensions, obviously to demolish your triceps. Usually I do this at the end of the workout, but holy shit, it can destroy. If you do it correctly, slowly, like this, it can demolish your triceps. So cable extensions, I get that as well. Then shoulders, we obviously have Kevin Lavroni here. Shoulder plate loaded machine. And holy shit, you don't need anything else for the front delt if you have this. However, this machine needs to be a good one because there's a lot of bad ones for this. If you get the good one, the right one, the correct path and correct movement, you can demolish your front shoulders. You don't even need anything else. And secondly, for the lateral raises, I would say this machine right here, if you get the correct one, and holy shit, a lot of people haven't tried this, but if you get the correct one, it's like you're stuck in a position and you're doing it like correct in the movement. you can't like swing, or like you can't swing, but it's locked in the path. So like some people might do it wrong, but here you're literally locked in the correct path. And this is why I think this can absolutely destroy your shoulders. Then we move on to dumbbells. Dumbbells, obviously, universal as You can do front shoulder raises, you can do lateral raises. You can also do the ones where you kind of, I can put it on the screen, but you kind of go like this, and this kind of trains your lats, your lateral, your shoulders. And you can also bend over and do it like this. So dumbbells, very, very universal for shoulders. And lastly, for the rear delt machine, or a reverse pec deck. Obviously, don't need much else for the rear delt. You just sit, do it like this. Pretty great for the rear delt. A lot of people don't train the rear delt. I do train the rear delt. And I mean, it is hard to notice difference, but I think you still need to train the rear delt to have that 3D look. Then we move on to abs. Obviously, no one likes to train abs. I don't like to train abs, but why not? We might as well get an ab bench. Don't need much else for abs, to be honest. You get this, you do like crunches or sit-ups, and it's really good enough. Then we move on to chest. Firstly, interchangeable bench. So you can put it on the flat, you can put it on the incline, wherever you choose, and you do that. So obviously then I could do incline bench press, which is much better for growing your chest, and I can do flat bench press, which is kind of better for PRs, I would say. And that would really just hit the whole chest. You don't really need much else like after that. Then we can also throw in, for safety reasons, a Smith machine. You know, you can do the same bench press and same incline bench press on this, except you're kind of locked in the movement. So I would say Smith machine bench press is better for growing your chest. But then again, a lot of people like to do it just freely. No issue with that, but if you want to grow your muscles, it's Smith machine better. Then we move on to chest pec machine. Chest pec deck machine. And again, for the chest, the two movements that I suggest you should be doing to grow your chest, it'd probably be incline bench press or incline dumbbell press, and any form of this movement. And this machine right here, obviously for this movement, and you don't need much else. You can do this movement also with cables. I don't really like it, or with dumbbells. I don't really like that as well. So that's why I picked this, and it's just good, honestly. If you go lighter on this movement, you can really destroy your chest. And lastly, also for safety reasons, just to be sure that I don't miss anything, we also have a bench and a dumbbell rack. Again, you can pretty much do everything for the chest with dumbbells. You can do incline dumbbell press, flat dumbbell press, you can do flies, you can do everything with dumbbells. So we have that as well. Then we move on to back. And firstly, something that I want to add, I've kind of started liking pull-ups, and this is funny. It's like I'm going back to like, it's like I'm going into calisthenics. I like dips, I like pull-ups, but if you do pull-ups correct, you can actually destroy your lats. Like, I do them correct without like swinging and everything, and I can actually get it like pretty correct. I don't know if it's because I'm becoming kind of strong and now I can lift my weight up, but if you get good at pull-ups, I can trust me, you can destroy your lats. So the support lat machine, obviously, if you use the support, you can go lighter and really destroy your lats. I suggest this. It's been amazing. I've been doing pull-ups for about a month. It's amazing. Secondly, rack and a bar. Why? Rows, mostly rows. Any kind of rows that you do with a barbell are probably good enough. And you can also do shrugs, which I don't really do, but you could. So yeah, and mostly a barbell for rows, I would say. Then row machine cable. It's a weird name, but it's pretty much this machine. And what would I use it for? I would use it for one arm, like lat pulls or like whatever you call them. Or I would just take the big attachment and just do this movement, kind of rows. It's really good enough for your back to really destroy the back. You don't need much else. Like, you don't need specific movements to like target upper back and lower back and shit like that. Just do rows and you're pretty much good. Rows and pull-ups and you're good enough. And lastly, hyperextension machine, or you can't really call it machine, but this right here. Obviously, bending over for the lower back, it is good, but it's hard to do, let's just say. Oh yeah, also, the bar, you can do deadlifts if you like to. I don't really do deadlifts, but you can. So hyperextension. Yeah, that's pretty much it for back. Then when you move on to calves, only need one thing. You don't need the seated machine because seated machine doesn't really train your calf that good. The standing one trains it much better. So I just get probably standing, and that's really good enough for your calves. And lastly, we move on to legs, and we have Tom Platz here with his legs. Legs I have really perfected. Like, I really know what I need for legs because I've done so many leg days and I've destroyed my legs so much that I know what I need. First of all, a good leg extension. A good leg extension, okay? I've had leg extensions that not amazing, let's just say, and I don't know how the you can mess up a leg extension, but they have messed up a leg extension. So I specifically put good leg extension. Good leg extension can basically destroy your quads. You don't need much else, but obviously if you want to completely destroy your legs, then we need more. And if you wanted to know, to destroy legs, you need two movements. So you could do just leg extensions and just curls for the hammies. That's pretty much it. But to absolutely destroy your legs, you need more. So firstly, good leg extension. Secondly, good leg press. Again, good. Specifically good. I don't know how you mess up a leg press. They have messed up a leg press in the past. So good leg press. And this, again, can destroy pretty much your whole dead leg if you do it slowly. I suggest it. Some people don't like it. I don't have a problem with that. I like it, so I do it. Squat rack, obviously, for the squats. I really love squats. And we also have Smith machine squats. You can choose which you do. I don't really have a problem with either. Smith machine squats are better for technique because it kind of locks you again in that position. So you can only go in one position. Barbell squats, they're hard, which is good, I suppose. But there are days that you don't want to do barbell squats. But I suggest doing squats. If you want big legs, squats is the way. Then we move on to seated hamstring machine. I mean, if you've seen Sam Sulek, you can't go wrong with seated hamstring machine. Pretty much destroys your hammies. You don't really need much else. You can do a combination of straight-legged deadlifts, hamstring machine, and leg presses, and your hamstrings are going to be cooked. And lastly, a lunges pathway or walkway. Lunges can absolutely destroy your quads. I suggest you try them. When I first tried lunges, my quads were absolutely cooked, but your legs do adjust, so I don't know. It's pretty good for destroying legs. And this is where my camera died, but that was pretty much it, so that's my dream gym. It ended up being around 200,000, so if anyone has that money, anyways.